Hey everyone, I'm Megan Sullivan, creator of History in Games, and welcome to my channel. Recently on Twitter, I asked you to name the top 3 RPGs you're looking forward to the most in 2021 and beyond. And boy, did I get a lot of great responses. You guys, I'm so happy to see so many RPG fans out in force. And what I loved is that all the RPGs you named are super diverse and fantastic. And I'm serious because there were over 40 separate RPGs mentioned in the replies. Even better, some are huge like Final Fantasy, but some are smaller and more niche like Aoden Chronicle. Now, a lot of people couldn't just pick 3 upcoming RPGs, which is why I decided to make this video about the top 10 RPGs people are excited about instead of just 3. So let's not waste any more time here, let's jump into this amazing list, and FYI, the way I ranked these is I tallied up the number of times a game was mentioned as one of somebody's most anticipated RPGs. By the way, if you want to make your own list, please feel free to do so in the comments below. Now, before I start with number 10, there were a handful of games that were so close to making this list and were off by like a point. So shout out to Chris Tales, Disgaea 6, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Project Triangle Strategy, Starfield, and Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. These are all awesome and worthy games, so I was super happy to see people vote for them. Okay, on to the actual list. So, starting at number 10 is Dragon Age 4. It's been 7 years since developer BioWare and publisher EA released Dragon Age Inquisition, and clearly fans are eager to find out what fate has in store for some of their favorite Dragon Age characters, like Morrigan, Varric, and of course Solas, whom personally I've been waiting 7 years to punch in the face. I think fans are also excited to see how the series has improved overall in terms of gameplay mechanics, party AI, UI, graphics, and so forth. A lot is riding on Dragon Age 4, especially after the lukewarm reception to Mass Effect Andromeda and the abject failure of Anthem. So I think fans are really hoping BioWare returns to form with Dragon Age 4. Fingers crossed. Number 9, Fable. Even though Lionhead Studios is no more and we know next to nothing about this game, a lot of you are excited to learn about Microsoft's relaunch of the popular Fable series, which is now in the hands of Playground Games, makers of Forza. And yes, apparently the Forza tech engine will be used in the new Fable, so that'll definitely be interesting. Number 8, Neo: The World Ends With You. The original The World Ends With You for the Nintendo DS was a huge hit with JRPG fans back in the day, so it's not too surprising to see Neo: The World Ends With You make the list. If you voted for this game, you're probably like me and are hyped for the new visuals and gameplay mechanics, can't wait to experience what will probably be another bonkers story, and listen to awesome music. The new Reapers game starts on the streets of Shibuya this July. Number 7, Scarlet Nexus. Crafted by the minds behind Tales of Vesperia, Bandai Namco's hack-and-slash RPG Scarlet Nexus, which comes out this June, got big votes. Perhaps because it features a dual narrative, some crazy kinetic physics-based combat, and colorful visuals. I'll be honest, this one hasn't really been on my radar, but now you guys have me really interested. Number 6, Elden Ring. People have been anxiously waiting for Elden Ring ever since From Software announced it 2 years ago, so it being so high on this list doesn't surprise me in the least. I mean, who doesn't want to play an open-world Soulsborne type game with lore written by George R.R. Martin? I mean, come on. Now, we still don't know a whole lot about Elden Ring, but hopefully that will change very soon. Number 5, Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. I am not at all surprised to see Endwalker in the top 5 most anticipated RPGs. So many people I know have been flipping out over Endwalker ever since its reveal. I know I kinda did because this Final Fantasy XIV expansion is taking its cues from one of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy IV, by letting players go to the moon. Not only that, but we're being promised a big dramatic story, a new class known as Reaper, and the addition of Male Vieira. What? Plus, the new areas look awesome. In short, Final Fantasy XIV has a large and very dedicated fan base, and it's clear fans are looking forward to November 23rd when Endwalker walks into our lives. See what I did there? Number 4, Aoden Chronicle 100 Heroes. You guys, I was so happy to see a smaller game make it so high up the list, and I love that it's Aoden Chronicle. If you don't know what that is, it's a spiritual sequel to the Suikoden series, made by Rabbit and Bear Studios with people who worked on the original Suikoden games. Aoden Chronicle is planned for release in October 2022, but obviously fans are already looking forward to playing it. Number 3, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Yes, another great fan choice choice. Now, it's true that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is still a bit of a mystery when it comes to gameplay and story, but fans do know that it uses the Unreal Engine and that the story is meant to be sympathetic to modern-day fears about everything from unemployment to war. I think one of the reasons this game is so far up the list, though, is that it will scratch that SMT itch that a lot of Persona fans have now that Persona 5 and its spin-offs seem to be winding down a bit. Or at least I think they are. At any rate, I'm with you guys. I can't wait to play this game. Number 2, Tales of Arise. Pulling way ahead of the competition by nearly double digits is Tales of Arise. You guys are amped for this game, and I can see why. Tales of Arise looks to be a big upgrade for the Tales series, with a boost in graphics, what looks like smoother and more responsive gameplay mechanics, and an interactive world where you climb, swim, run, etc. Plus, the story of two people teaming up to defy fate is always an intriguing one. On a personal note, I really love Tales of Berseria, so I'm interested to see where this Tales game takes things. The game comes out September 10th in the West, so we don't have long to wait until we get to experience it for ourselves. But as popular as Tales of Arise is, it couldn't quite keep up with your guys' choice for number 1 on this list, which is Final Fantasy XVI. The next main entry into the wildly popular franchise is on the way, and it feels like everyone is super excited to see more of it. The gameplay looks very Devil May Cry with its exciting, snappy action sequences, and the story and characters look very mature, almost like the game takes place in Ivalice, the same Final Fantasy world as Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy Tactics. I myself can't wait to play Final Fantasy XVI, and apparently you guys can't either. So exciting. Okay, and there it is, the top 10 RPGs you guys are looking forward to playing the most. What is your personal top 10 list? Let everyone know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/meghanrsullivan. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.